Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a two-part mini-series of me upgrading my existing beta trio. I have two betas left as one unfortunately didn't make it. I absolutely hated the tank, I didn't enjoy the way it looked, and I personally don't feel like it is the right tank for betas, even though it is specifically a beta trio for betas. I don't like it and I won't be using it and I won't be recommending it to anyone. So I've now got the Interpet LED AquaCube, and this is, I've got one each, and this is for both my betas, and they're going to fit perfectly on the shelf next to each other. So first of all, I'm just placing in some sand. I've gone for some natural beige coloured sand, and I am sloping it higher to the back for more definition and a bit more angle. Now I'm simply just placing in my two rocks. I've gone for two really large, for this size tank, quite large rocks, and I want them to look almost like two little mountains with a sort of valley in the middle. So now I'm just currently planting the root tabs. This is just so that the sand has some fertilisation and it makes it a fertile substrate to plant into. So these three little plants I've planted at the front here, they are called Hemianthus, I think is how you pronounce it. I've only got three little clippings as they didn't have any in the store, so they've taken all the plants in this tank from their show tank essentially. Now I'm currently planting the Monte Carlo. Normally and ideally I did want a carpeting base at the front for this design. That's why I've gone for the two carpeting plants, but their Monte Carlo they let grow out, and it was more like a bush instead of a carpeting sort of style. So this is why it's quite long and quite large and bushy. And now I'm just starting to fill with water. I gave it a day or two, I absolutely hated it, so I've started again. I've left the rocks and the sand as I do like them, and that is my main base. It was just the plants, I just hated it. It just wasn't working and it didn't come out how I expected or wanted it to in my mind, so I'm basically starting from scratch. So I'm just moving the Monte Carlo over to two edges. They basically are little bushes either side now, instead of me trying to force it to a carpeting plant, because it's just not going to work at the moment. I've also moved the front foreground plants into one little clump over to the left of the tank. They can carpet eventually in their own time, but at the moment those three little dots just did not look right, unfortunately, so I've made it look a little bit better, I think, personally. So I just let that clear up. I did add some decorative rocks, very little tiny little pebbles. It's not quite enough and I do come back to it. At the moment I'm adding in one of my favourite plants, which is the Limnophila Sessiliflora. This is one of my favourites. This did come from Tropica. I went out in between to try and find little things that may make this tank work a little bit better. So I've got two of those, and they come already in little baskets, and you just plant them, and I find they're good because the sand sticks in the baskets and weights that down. And here I've got my decorative rocks. These are the larger type, and they also blend in with the big rocks, and I feel like they look like almost like the mountain has started to erode and crumble and is all broken down. And I've just put this in where my little valley I've created is. So I'm just filling this up with some decorative rocks. Just creating layers. I'm layering the two types of decorative gravel up just so that it creates the image that I'm looking for. You can always do things differently, but I've also used some of the rocks outside of the valley just so that it looks more natural and like it has just generally fallen into place. So if you just scatter them lightly towards the edge, it looks more natural. So I've just added in the beta because I've finally finished with the tank and I think it looks amazing. I'm really happy with the way it's come out. At the beginning I didn't think it was going to look anywhere near as good as this. This is my male beta. He is a black orchid CROWNTAIL variety. He is absolutely stunning and he's just so elegant. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is a two-part series of me upgrading my betas' homes. This is the first tank build and there is another one coming. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and follow me over my Instagram for more